Hi, I'm Saul Goodman. Did you know that you have rights? The Constitution says you do.
Alright, you're finally getting that Don't Me I'm Scared review that I promised 2 weeks ago. Oh shit. We tried to make a relatively comprehensive review, but we just went through 3 hours of footage in the middle of the night without sleep, so not the best review, but you're getting it anyway, so fuck you. Now enjoy two sleep-deprived, mentally ill people talk about Don't Know Me, I'm Scared. Go! So, do you want to review the show first, or do our interpretations first?
Interpretation, because then that can lead into reviewing it as we view it.
I personally believe that this is a story of mother and son, of Leslie and David, and how David's death resulted in all of this. I personally believe that the town thing from episode 5 was an explanation of how David died. He died in a car crash, running into the road, and Leslie, in her grief, tried to recreate what she couldn't give him: a proper education, a proper life, because he died so soon. So she created this forms of education for her son, before realizing that it just isn't going to work. That's just not going to happen. It's not going to be your son. But then she saw the funny side and just decided to continue. Keep it running. Keep the cogs turning. And Yellow Guy, the main representation of David, here to learn these lessons, started to rot. With all these lessons rotting up in his brain, so did his batteries. And when he finally got them back, he started to remember. And he went up, looking for a way, wondering why none of this made sense, why it was just endless, meaningless education. And finding his quote-unquote mother. And Leslie, for the first time in a while, coming face to face with not her real son. And I feel as though this has happened a lot, right? Where Yellow Guy originally talked about how there's big ones and a smaller version of all of it at the top. I believe this has happened before. He's in a loop of rotting and coming back to life, of forgetting and remembering, of rising up and falling back down. And eventually, I hope, he will get to that final staircase and hopefully go out into the real world, find his purpose, without his mother's wishes.
An intriguing interpretation.
And you said it with a lisp.
I said words!
You did.
I said them. I said words. I said an intriguing interpretation.
You said an intriguing interpretation.
I did say that, but that's because I was petting the dog.
Okay.
Do you not just do baby voice when adorable animal?
Yeah.
Give him a smooch on the adorable. Okay. That's a very intriguing thing that you've said. My interpretation, I like your interpretation a lot. That's really good. It does make a lot of sense of, but like what I think really jumps out at me is the fact that there is another staircase and the fact that she never gave a straight answer as to whether or not she built it. So the real question is, like, did she create this? Or is she just managing it? So, like, maybe somebody else created all of this and she's just managing it as grief management. But that could, like, that's like a whole thing. I also think of, like, it with the mother theory. I wouldn't exactly say it's a theory. It's more just like a concept. But I'll say theory for the sake of it. With the mother theory, it also brings the question of like how interesting the family episode was under the lens of this all having been created by a mother. Because not only is the mother absent in the family episode, which does definitely obviously, and also, the whole "you're not my real son" does obviously throw a lot of like mother shit being important. It it feels like the original episodes of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared from YouTube were very much about father and son, and these ones are about mother and son. And that's really fucking interesting. That's just really fucking interesting to me. I feel like it is definitely some sort of like commentary, analogy, blah blah blah, regarding education and obviously family. Because like there's the story elements of what it is, and then the intentional or accidental interpretation of each episode of the series. Because like you've got, it's kind of like, I'm gonna reference MatPat again because I keep doing that because he's easy to reference. Is like how he did do a whole theory about how the original thing had to do with children's programming in Britain and the world at large, as well as doing an in-universe theory about Roy. So that's sort of what I'm going to posit here, is that we have the in-universe thing, which does have to do with David and Leslie. I do like the whole all three of them are supposed to be what make up or made up a person named David. All of which, whether he's still alive and this is just her trying to like cope with him for whatever reason being gone, or maybe like she didn't do a good job the first time, or he's dead and she's grieving, or she never had a son, or she almost had a son. There's a lot there. But oh my god, they never specify what happened to the mother in the family episode, did they? Like, it's implied that she died, but because like of the whole like her face being scratched out of the portrait. But then when they actually show a dead family member's portrait, it's not scratched out. That could imply that the people who are scratched out are just people who have been disowned from the family. And we never see anything about Yellow Guy's mother, only about Roy. So what if Leslie and Roy, like Leslie and David's father, what if they divorced, perhaps over the death of David, or simply she didn't get custody of David, maybe because she just wasn't a good mother, and this is her trying to cope with the loss of her child, either literal or legal. That could be interesting. So you've got the in-universe thing of like the mother-son thing that's got a million and one explanations, and then you have the outer universe accidental or intentional commentary on specifically education and time management in children, which is children spend all this time just being fed all of this information and not being told what to do with it, which happens all the time, everywhere, in everyone, really. Like, even at work, even at jobs, like, you'll be told lots of information that you're never going to have anything to do with it. Like, there's so many things that you're just told, and you're expected to carry this around in your head and know it off the top of your head, even if it never is going to matter. Like, is this all there is? Like, just carrying around useless knowledge until somebody asks you if you know it, without it ever being important to actually doing anything? Or is this going to be useful someday? Or can we not just make a new system where people just learn things that are important, and if they want to know useless shit for fun, they can, but let's not force children who are already cramming all of this time in to learn math and how to read and shit. Like, not fill their schedule with reading quote unquote classic literature when they have no interest in books or anything like that, or having them sit down and do fucking poetry classes. Why?
Now,
And choir.